All right, everyone, welcome. I am starting the Oregon Trail, the 1992 Deluxe Edition. Uh, so, most of what I was trying to do with the stream was to play games that I loved growing up. And I played this game probably when I had Windows 95, but my wife is the one who grew up with this. So when I showed her the original Oregon Trail, the one for Apple IIe, she looked at me. She's like, "This isn't what I played. This isn't her original." And you can actually see I let her play around last night. So she's the on the list of legends. She's the only one on the list of legends. But yeah, so she got on it and she was so excited. So anyway, I'm looking forward to doing this playthrough and having some fun with it, and hopefully you guys have some fun as well. All right. So this is the introduction. That is basically, okay, that's not, let's see, options. Take a look at that list of legends, export trail log, credits. They cut the music off, but here's the credits screen is version 3.0 of the Oregon Trail. And I always wonder about companies where they have the addresses and phone numbers put into the program itself, what's there now. If it's the same company, MECC went out and the rights were sold to somebody else, but I still always want to write to the companies and see what's still there. Of course, now with Google Earth, that makes that super easy. All right, so we can change our simulation speed. We'll keep it default. Hunting time, we'll keep that default. Instructions. List of legends shows the 10 high scores. As you achieve higher scores, you bump the lower scores off the list. That's how a high score list works. To delete a name, click it and hit the delete button. Program comes with a built-in list. To restore it, click the reset button. Hey, Un, welcome. Let's see. Hunting time determines how long hunting session lasts. If you're not good at hunting, you can give yourself more time. If you're good, you can take hunting more challenging by giving yourself less time. I'll keep it the default for now. Save game. This option lets you use this option when you want to stop playing before you reach the end of the trail. Later, you can use the load game feature. I think this was a pretty brief game, so we should be able to complete a session tonight. Exporting trail log. As you travel the trail, the program keeps a log of everything that happens. Use this option to save a copy of the trail log as a text file. Later, you can edit or print it with your word processing program. Credits shows the version number of the program and list of people who created it. Exit ends the game. quit, exits, and returns to DOS. Sound and music. Alt S and Alt M to turn on and off. All right. So those are the instructions. And we hit OK. Boom, 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 boom. All right. So let's travel the trail. You're about to begin a great adventure. I have my wife's permission to take as long as I need, apparently. So, all right. So we might finish this tonight. You're about to begin a great adventure, traveling the Oregon Trail across the rugged landscape of North America. Your covered wagon, pulled by a team of oxen, will travel from Independence, Missouri to the fertile Willamette. I never actually paid attention to how that name is pronounced. Willamette Valley of the Oregon Territory. A journey of approximately 2,000 miles, and it'll take about half an hour. Before you set off on the trail, register your name, the names of your members of your wagon, of your wagon party, and your occupation. After that, you'll need to buy supplies and make other important decisions. Good luck. All right, we're going to start a new game here. Okay. So before I start putting some names in there, let's check out the help screen. People from all walks of life went west to Oregon. You can pick your occupation, but each choice has its advantages and disadvantages. I remember in the original game, they give you pretty limited options. It was banker, carpenter, farmer. I think there was one other, but each had its advantages, and farmers were the poorest. Let's see what we've got here. Bankers, lots of cash, no special advantages to being a banker. Final bonus, none, so straight points. Same thing with doctor, lots of cash, but sick people are less likely to die, and no bonus multiplier. Let's see. I think this one actually came as a disc. I think this one actually, and by disc I mean CD. It might have been on a 3.5, 3.25, no, 3.5 floppy. Yeah, that's right. 5 1/4, 3.5. I do not believe that this one was released on a 5 1/4, but it might have been. The original Oregon Trail was released on 5 1/4 floppies, and it was a 2-sided disc. Because once you got to, I think, the second, maybe the third fort, you actually had to flip it over and reinsert the disc. Let's see. Blacksmiths are more likely to repair broken wagon parts. Same thing with carpenters. And they both have the same multiplier, so that's interesting. I guess you just get to decide which one sounds more appealing to you. Saddle makers, no advantage. So yeah, I'm seeing like their list of advantages. It's like some people have an advantage, but then people also have like, hey, here's the option for somebody who has no advantage, and also the same amount of cash. And then farmers, and then poor teachers get shafted on that last one, but you get a good bonus point multiplier. I am leaning more towards blacksmith just because I'm really interested in blacksmithing personally. I don't want to go to the extreme because I'm not confident that I'm actually going to make it to the end of the Oregon Trail that way, but blacksmith seems to be a good balance. Let's see. All I know is that the one on our Apple computers, in the computer lab in my elementary school. Yeah, so this was the one that was in the computer lab. I guess you guys had like actual Macintoshes and not the original Apples, probably. Special classes for being behind in reading level, 2nd grade. All we did was play games on Apple. Did you play in? Was it The original Oregon Trail. Oh yeah, you played the original. You said. Did you play any of the games like Number Munchers, Word Munchers, and I remember one called Z-Bug. That was a set of educational games. Jungle Games. Okay. If you remember what any of those are, let me know. Let's see. All right, occupational help. I'm going to choose blacksmith. All right. All right, I'm going to name myself Crystal. Mikey, I'm gonna drag you along on the trail too. I might as well go ahead and put Skylar and Ash. We are in the wagon party. All right. So let's see. Blacksmith. We got names. All right. Let's travel the trail. So we've got some decisions to make here on supplies. One of the things that I like to do in the original is buy more bullets, but then hunt for food a little more, and leave early on the trail, and see how that affects things. So let's see. Matt can give you pretty good advice about what to buy. At least 6 oxen to pull your wagon. So okay. That would be 3 yoke. So that's about the equivalent of the original game. You'll need plenty of flour, sugar, bacon, coffee, lots of coffee. Lots of coffee. And other types of foods. I suggest you start out with at least 200 pounds of food for each person in your party. So that's that would make it 1,000 pounds. You'll need good warm clothing, especially for the mountains. I recommend 2 sets per person. You'll need ammunition too. Each box contains 20 bullets. I'm not going to tell you how many to buy, but this is the West we're going to. Finally, you might want to take along some spare wagon parts, wagon wheels, axles, and tongues, are liable to break along the way. If you're unable to repair a broken wagon, you'll be in big trouble. Okay. So I am a blacksmith, so supposedly I can do a pretty decent job with repairing parts. So maybe I can shave a little bit off of the costs there. So he was recommending at least 6 oxen. Let's start with 8, and we can adjust our bill as we go along. Sets of clothing. So we will start with 15 sets of clothing, boxes of bullets. I'm going to say 20 boxes of bullets just because I intend to do a lot of hunting. I'm going to think about risking it here and just doing 1 each. Might be sorry about that later, but that'll make hunting easier if we do that. Okay, yeah, it's not too big of a deal to go to 2 each here. We're on the generous side so far, so that's going to be in our favor. So we got 15 sets of clothing, which is more than 2 per person. It's 3 per person. This is what I'm talking about. This is the superior Oregon Trail. Excuse my excitement, but nobody knows. Oh, MT, thanks for joining. And yeah, this is not the one that I grew up on, but I did actually play it back in like 95 to 98, and I do appreciate how close this version is to the original. They didn't try to change too much and try to add some of the janky modern things. I think they did that in Oregon Trail 2, I want to say, and some of the more modern remakes, but I really appreciate how much this actually kind of kept that original formula, but just modernized it. And I think that's really awesome. I should I'm pretty under, and I do want to get more supplies here. What if I go all out and get 4 sets of clothes per person? I mean, to be fair, I never played any other Oregon Trail, but still, I if you have the time, empty, I recommend going ahead, like get an old Apple emulator and give the original was the old teletype version, so don't go that far back, but give the original, the Apple II version a shot, because I actually like computer history and gaming history and some site like that, so I like to see the origin of things. So for me, that's exciting. If you think it'll be exciting for you, go for it. I don't know if you'll be disappointed or not, but give it a shot. Um, if you there is the color was actually always there in the Oregon Trail, but sometimes people only had the monochrome or the green screen or the tan monitors. So it was actually based on the type of monitor available. But by default, emulators will have the color screen option, so give that a shot. Definitely, definitely worth it. And as you can tell, Crystal Jane is totally on your side about the superior trail experience here. Yeah, it was. A matter of fact, you could hook the old Apple TVs, the old Apple computers, up to a TV, and it would, as long as it was a color TV, that it would actually work that way too. They had RCA output, I believe, for video. All right, I feel like we're pretty good. We got $100 just in case something goes terribly wrong down the road. If we need to trade or buy something. That gives us enough for the ferries later on and plenty of clothing. Um, let's see, 20 times 20, because I can't do math, that's what, 400 bullets? I don't know. Let's do 30. All right. You need to decide when to set off on the trail. If you leave too early, there won't be much grass for your oxen to eat. You may encounter some very cold weather and late spring snowstorms. But if you leave too late, you may not get to Oregon before winter, which can be very dangerous. If you leave at just the right time, there will be green grass and, for the most part, mild weather. I like to do some hunting in the middle or in the beginning, so I am going to jump on that. I'm going to jump on that early March leaving time. Let's see. And the hunting should delay some things. Boom, 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 boom. I'm totally doing the wrong notes here. March 1st, 1848. You started down the trail with 10 oxen, 20 sets of clothing, 600 bullets, 2 wagon wheels, 2 wagon axles, 2 wagon tongues, 1,000 pounds of food, and $80, and no anvils, even though you're a blacksmith. Oh, it didn't have the music? Oh, man. I got this version from My Abandonware, and it's playing in DOSBox right now. So if that's the that's what had the music version in that. So you can play this for yourself too. Just it was literally it's a DOSBox and My Abandonware version. All right, it actually gives me the option to take a look at the stats and rations. Let's just take a look at things, size up the situation. Oh yeah, no problem. Let's see, Oregon Trail. That's where we are. That's where we need to be. Never looked at the guide option. The town of Independence in western Missouri is one of the chief starting points for folks setting off on the Oregon Trail. Immigrants from the east often rendezvous here to form wagon trains. They stock up on supplies, get information about the journey, and make important decisions, such as when to set off on the trail. Looks like they've got a lot of options here. All right, status, all good. Rations, we're going to go ahead and keep the default, which I believe is filling. Don't need to trade. Talk option. Better take extra sets of clothing. Trade them to Indians for fresh vegetables, fish, or meat. It's well worth hiring an Indian guide at the river crossing. Expect to pay them. They're sharp traders, not easily cheated. Did you read the Missouri Republican today? Says some folks start out for Oregon without carrying spare parts, not even an extra wagon axle. Must think they grow on trees. Well, I mean, they are wood, right? Hope they're lucky enough to find an abandoned wagon or, a tree. Of course, that would be if you're a carpenter, so. All right, so we have the option to rest, set our pace. I am assuming that the default is a steady pace. And all right, I think we're ready. Let's hit continue. Now, this version apparently doesn't have music in the background of actually traveling. And I do want to go ahead and do some hunting because I want to get that food supply up in the beginning. All right, he's making fun of me. I am not doing well. Okay, I can do that. Don't judge my FPS skills or lack thereof. You shot 265 pounds of meat and used 9 bullets because you're not a very good shot, but you were only able to bring back 200 pounds. Well, I feel good about not wasting too much on that. Let's see. I probably didn't move far enough away from the previous hunting ground, so... Alright, I'm going to be a bit more conservative about shooting. Although that rabbit is very tempting. I also wonder if there's like a penalty for moving from location to location. Yeah, I think they really don't repopulate. Okay. I should probably cut my losses, but they do give me a fair amount of time. Maybe we'll get lucky. Nope. All right. Let's continue on. We'll just make more frequent. You brought back 0 pounds of food and used 0 bullets. Please put some effort into it. If you continue to hunt in this area, the game will become more scarce. Okay, so they're giving you the tip right there. That's good. That's nice of them. So we will continue on the trail here. I wonder if that is far enough distance. Oh, hunting is not allowed at the Kansas River crossing because there are too many people around. That's probably a good policy. You know, the music is the same music that's in the original game, but it's so much smoother here. I like this. I could actually groove a little bit to this. Who knew there were zoning restrictions back then? At least you didn't need a zoning permit, right? Oh, let's see. Let's talk to folks. If I could do an Abraham Lincoln, I totally would do that now. I can't really do any voices well. Don't try to ford the river any deeper than the wagon bed, about 2.5 feet. You'll swamp your wagon and lose your supplies. You can caulk the wagon bed and float it, or you can be smart and hire me to take your to take your wagon on my ferry. Okay, you're a very opportunistic businessman, but hey, can't fault you for that. Let's take a look at what the conditions are. So 8.5 feet deep. So yeah, we are definitely not fording it. And we've got plenty of money, so there's no reason not to take the ferry. That is true. I have found that most of my nostalgic moments in games focus around the music. That's one of like my my music, my playlists are mostly video game soundtracks. You made it safely across the river. I have seen ferries break in the original version, but I don't remember if that happens in this version. All right, let's hunt some more. I think we're far enough away that oh, maybe I'll be able to get something. Yes. All right. I'm just going to end the hunting because I know I'm not going to be able to carry more than 200 pounds. And we'll go a little further. And how many? Okay, we've got 1,200 pounds of food, so we're really in good shape for that. But I'm going to do another. Uh-oh. Something happened. Something happened right when I clicked the... All right. Crystal is able to shoot the deer. I should be able to do this. But a herd of buffalo came by, so I get to spare myself the embarrassment. Okay. So let's catch up on what happened down here. You took the wrong trail. You had a wagon tongue break, but were able to fix it. You decided to hunt. You brought back 200 pounds of food. I almost want to like continue that with a monopoly. It's like you pass go, collect 200 pounds of food. All right. Now we're caught up. Let's continue. I remember feeling like the ferry always broke when attempting to cross. Really, I felt like the ferry breaking was actually a rarity. So, man, I'll let this play just for you empties. I'll stop singing too. All right. Let us continue and see what our options are. 4.5 feet deep. And I remember in the original one, that's probably what the rest option is for. In the original, you could say wait for conditions to, all right. Well, I'm enjoying the music myself too, so wait for conditions to improve. I guess that's just replaced by the rest option on the side because I remember sometimes the rivers you could wait and the tide would go down or up based off of rain or just I guess randomness, RNG. But let's talk to some folks, see what they have to say. We've had enough. Pesky flies all day and mosquitoes all night. It's either baking sun or oceans of mud, and sometimes both. That's the description of how some people have described where I live. But worry over Indians attacking. Haven't seen any yet, but still a worry. Well, go home, dude. Oh man. Let's see. See if we get somebody more positive here. This prairie is might pretty with all them wild flowers and tall grass, but there's too much of it. I miss not having a town nearby. I wonder how many days until I see a town with real shops, a church, people, etc. Okay, so this is about the point that people are having some second thoughts here. All right, but we're gonna forge onward, and let's see. Let's just do 1 day of rest and see what the river does. All right, 3.5 feet deep. It's getting better, but let's go ahead and caulk the wagon and float it across. You chose to caulk the wagon and float it across the river. Hold your breath. All right. So nerve-wracking waiting to see what's going to happen. All right, on the other side of the river, let us hunt. I just want to keep those supplies up because... Oh, come on. Yes. Yes, definitely. And what was crazy is that on the original Apple, you always knew something bad was happening when the computer started trying to read from the disk, which was a really slow and loud process. So all of a sudden that disk read light turns on and you hear it cranking away in the background, and that was, oh, that was the scariest sound. And it took a few seconds to load up on the screen, and you're like, what happened? What happened? What happened? 400 pounds, used 2 bullets. Continue. Oh, Ash was bitten by a snake. Oh, we better rest. Let's see. I'm going to do... Let's see, we started early, so we can afford resting a good number of days. All right. And we're really doing really good on the food, so maybe we won't have too many problems for later on. Oh, we're moving again. Let's check the status. Okay, Ash is still suffering from a snake bite. So I don't know what the ramifications are for that, but let's... Oh, Ash is well again. Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Okay. Finally. You were all patient enough to rest when you were... I feel like I just kept going and hoped that people would get better. I did the same thing growing up. I think maybe I rested 2 or 3 days, but I didn't really understand the mechanics of that, so I just kept going too. 6 bullets, okay. And let's continue. I feel like the filling ration... Oh, okay. All right. Let's see how people are doing. The game is still plentiful along here, but getting harder to find. With so many overlanders, I don't expect it to last more than a few years. Folks shoot the game for sport, take a small piece, and leave the rest to rot in the sun. I guess with maybe a wagon train, if you got a good haul or something, you'd probably share some of that or go out with several people and share some of that with others. I can't imagine, but I guess that might have been a thing that happened then too. Let's see. The trails from the jumping off places, Independence, St. Joseph, Council Bluffs come together at Fort Kearny. This new fort was built by the U.S. Army to protect those bound for California and Oregon. I didn't understand how to play the game really also. I always just kept going, and bought mostly bullets. Yeah. I mean, it's a good investment, right? Let's see. How are our supplies? Do we want to buy more food at this point? If we're doing really well in food, it's only going to get more expensive. So let's go ahead and continue. Blizzard, Crystal has cholera. Why did you drink the water, Crystal? You had to drink the bad water. We'll start with 3 days and see what that involves. Also involves cold weather. This is classic. Played the Yukon Trail a bit more than this one. I want to look at that one, Yukon Trail, and I think there's the Amazon Trail too, both made by MECC as well, if I'm not mistaken. I think I played the Amazon Trail at least once or twice, so I will probably give that one a shot as well. But I'm also taking suggestions down the road. Let's see. I do want to rest a couple more days because I don't think Crystal is better yet. Oh, Crystal as well again. And let's hunt while we still can. Although I did choose to hunt in the middle of a blizzard. Ooh. I wonder how much meat is on a deer, because I can do 200 pounds. All right. That should... Oh, okay. That was only 141 pounds, so... I should have kept going. I should have gone for that buffalo. Let's see. Has definite similarities. Oh, let me hit continue here. It has definitely similarities, but it's definitely different. It's been a long time, though. I don't know how much I could... Yeah, I'm definitely interested, because they did have their own... Okay, just a blizzard. They did have their own flavors to the game and different mechanics in it. At least I can say that for sure between the Amazon Trail and the... was it Amazon or... Yeah, I think the one that I did was the Amazon Trail. So it focused a lot more around trading between different villages. If I'm... Skylar. I wanna... Where's my lighter? I can... Alright. So, Skylar probably needs a few days of rest. We can rest here. Alright, let's talk to people. Chimney Rock by moonlight is awfully sublime. Many Indians come to our wagon with fish to exchange for clothing. We bought a number. They understand swap and no swap. Seem most anxious to get shirts and socks. What else we got? About noon yesterday, we came in sight of Chimney Rock looming up in the distance like the lofty tower of some town. We did not tire gazing on it. It was about 20 miles from us and stayed in sight till we reached it today. All right, let's check our status here. Skylar still has his broken arm because broken arms don't heal after 2 days. Who'd have thunk? Pace is steady, so I think we're good with that. That shouldn't put any additional stress on any of the party members. Maybe I'll pick up the pace after we do that. There is zero explanation. That's a good point. One thing that I remember about this particular version, and I criticized the game for this in a very lovingly and humorous fashion, is that when I died playing this game back in the day, it said you and your entire party has died, and then it just gives you an OK button. And I'm sitting there, I'm staring at this button, and I'm like, I am not okay with this. I will not click this button. I mean, give me like an oh drat, darn, oops button. Don't give me an OK button. I am not okay with this. Okay, that's my soapbox. All right. What other options we have? We talk around. We did some resting. Let's continue. I don't feel like we need anything else at the moment. Oh. There we go. And continue. Oh, we got elk, I guess. I'll go ahead and get that guy since he's just walking into the crosshairs. And now we can go with the... All right, back up to 1500. And don't want to deplete the area, so let's continue. Oh. And now he's bitten by a snake. Let's take a look at, can he have both a broken arm and a snake bite? Nope. Did he even get better from the broken arm? No, he didn't. All right, dude. We'll give you 5 days. We'll give you your 5 days. Rest up. And we'll also hunt. He is always getting into troubles. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna tie him to the wagon. I wonder if I didn't get far enough from my previous hunting ground. Oh. Yeah, that's what I get for not paying attention. Ah! Oh. Oh. Was not expecting to get that. Those rabbits are taunting me. Alright, cut my losses. Alright, 300 pounds of meat, so I didn't need those rabbits anyway. Would have made a good stew, though. Alright, back up to 600. I wonder if I canceled Skylar's rest in there. We'll just add one more day to it. And then continue on. And hope he doesn't die. You found some wild fruit. You don't know what it is, but you're going to eat it anyway. All right. You have reached Fort Laramie. All right, so let's talk to some folk. The Pawnee are the mortal enemies of the Sioux. I would not hesitate to kill any Pawnee I met, but I have never killed a white man. All I ask from the white man is to leave me alone and to leave my buffalo alone. Fair enough. Be warned, stranger, don't dig a water hole. Drink only river water. Crystal. Salty as the Platte, I guess that's Platte River is. It's better than the cholera. Crystal. We buried my husband last week. Could use some help with the harness if you can spare the time. These greenhorns heading across the Rockies know nothing about surviving the mountains. It gets awful cold up there, even in summer. Many a traveler crossing the mountains too late in the year has gotten snowbound and died. A terrible fate. All right, you have reached the fort. I still don't think we need many supplies. Let's look at the shop anyway. Apparently, you have your own portable shopkeep because it's the same guy selling us everything. What would 300 more pounds? You know what? I'm good. I'm good. Yes, you did get cholera. We stopped, rested, and everything. All right, so I think we're good here. So let's continue on the trail. Just gonna go hunt for another round because I want to make sure, especially later game, we have good supplies. All right. Sorry, Mr. Indian, that we met earlier at the fort. I did take a buffalo of yours. I apologize. All right, 300 pounds. You just said hunt, 200. Back to the wagon. All right. Hey, speed up. Let's gamble a bit. Well, let's check everyone's status first. Well, Skylar's still suffering from that snake bite. I should have rested back at the fort. So let's give him another couple of days. If he's back to good health, then once he is back up to health, I'll go ahead and pick up the pace. Man, he's had that snake bite for a while now, though. I wonder if the game like glitched that because he had like the broken arm and. Oh, hi, Skylar. How's that broken arm doing? So you got a broken arm and a snake bite at the same. Oh, he's well again. All right. And then somebody goes and breaks their leg. All right. Sorry, Ash, you're only getting 3 days of rest. It's like literally. Skylar heals. Ash breaks a leg. Just can't you guys just not hurt yourselves? Independence Rock. No water. You've reached Independence Rock. I played this last night as the doctor. There were not nearly as many accidents or illnesses. That's true. Maybe they fell off the shed. Just basically, the people I named Skylar and Ash for, they're building a shed, and so. Oh, hi. Hi, Ash. No water. You have reached Independence Rock. All right. Ash, we're gonna let you rest 3 days here. Yeah, I didn't tell Crystal about the roof, by the way. All right. I carved my name way up the side of Independence Rock near the top. There are hundreds of names up there. The oldest ones were carved by mountain men and fur trappers. Famous names like Fremont, Bonneville, and Desmet. I guess that's how that's pronounced. No butter or cheese or fresh fruit since Fort Laramie. Bless me, but I think I'd rather have my larder full of food back east than have our names carved on that rock. Well, just a sight more cheery than all the graves we passed. That's one thing that I wish I had done is like played a few games and just like left some gravestones along the way because I remember that being a fun thing. Um, remember that being a fun thing. Is seeing like all of your classmates and friends that tried to do the trail and failed. Goodbye, Platte River. Goodbye, Sand Hills and White Buffalo Skulls. Now we climb the Sweetwater Valley to cross the Continental Divide at South Pass. Once across the Rockies, we'll make a steep descent to the Green River Valley. All right. Let's see. Ash still has a broken leg, but we are going to continue on, and maybe we'll actually get to do a strenuous pace, or not a strenuous, but a steady pace. Of course, that's going to be a little rougher on the buffalo now that there's no water and dry grass. Her eyes are so dark. And Ox is sick. All right. What does that look like on the status? 10 oxen. So they don't list the individual status of the oxen. You know what? Skylar was bitten by another snake. Skylar, stop messing with those snakes. Why you gotta Why you gotta go grabbing? Oh, I didn't stop to rest in time. You got bit by like 3 snakes, broken arm. Press F to pay respects. Or whatever it is. I can't remember what. I never played the game, but. Is it F? Yep. Rest in peace, Skylar. Rest in peace. Now the health is instantly poor. All right. Let's see, we probably all need to rest now. Let the health come back up. Oh. I love how there's a dog, but you only know about it when someone dies. That's true. That's actually very true. Oh, we reached out the path. I still felt like we were far away from that. Oh. Let's give everyone a couple more days to rest just because everyone's still set at fair health. All right. And let's talk to folks. My family and I travel with 40 other families to the valley of the Great Salt Lake to seek religious freedom. Back east, Mormons are persecuted in Utah. We'll join together to build a new community, changing desert into farmland. When the white man first crossed our lands, their wagons were few. Now they crowd the trail in great numbers. The land is overgrazed with their many animals. Do any white men still live in the east? My people talk of moving. Yes, Skylar, you can't chat anymore. You're required to remain silent for the rest of the playthrough. My father is very sick, and we are resting here till he gets better. We have been pushing too hard, and our health has suffered. When my father is able to travel again, we will go at a slower pace. Sorry, Skylar. I wasn't fast enough on the rest button. All right. Okay, so we have the choice here. I can't tell. Is that a hand? I almost thought it's like, is that a feather? The trail divides here. Which way do we want to go? Head to Fort Brigadier and buy supplies, or take the shortcut to Green River? Shortcut sounds really good. Let's do that. Ash was bitten by a snake. What? Okay, time out. I am sick and tired of these MNFing snakes on this MNFing trail. That's all I've got to say about this. So many snakes. Snakes on a trail. That's what this is turning into. This is turning into snakes on a trail. I'm doing more resting than traveling at this point. Oh, Ash. I'd watch that movie. All right, let's hunt, and we'll rest some more too. Wasted so much food resting. I should have gone doctor. Totally should have gone. I'm getting better at that. There we go. I think the bullet travels faster down center, so it's much easier to get a shot if it's running like in the middle area versus off to the side. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. All right. And they specifically tell you you're deceased. Oh, that's kind of like a harsh reminder right there. No grass for the oxen. But you did find some wild fruit. Ash is well again. Good job, Ash. Now stay that way. Bad water. So somebody's going to get cholera now. Crystal. No grass for the oxen. I don't want to push them too hard. Oh. You had a wagon wheel break, but you were able to fix it. Also no water. You have reached the Green River crossing. All right. When wagons first started coming through here, we did not mind. We even found it good to trade game and fish with the travelers and help them cross rivers. Now there are too many white men and too little land for grazing. $5 to ferry us over the Green River. Those ferrymen will make $100 before breakfast. We'll keep down the river until we find a place to ford our wagon and animals. What little money we have left, we'll keep. Oh, yep, good on you, sir. So let's see, what's our supplies look like? Still, we've been able to repair wagon axles and tongues and wheels. Still got plenty of food, lots of bullets, good clothing, oxes. Oh, but everyone is in poor health. Yeah. Okay, let's rest. Bring on or ricochet. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember ricochets. Yeah, bring on it's been cholera so far. Actually, Crystal has gotten cholera. Yeah, let's take a stock of our situation for everyone that's joined us recently. So we've got 10 oxen, which is what we started out with. 20 sets of clothing. 560 bullets, plenty of wagon parts, still got a good amount of food. People are finally back in fair health. We lost Skylar, so RIP. It is July 9th. Oh, well, what do you know? It's my birthday. I did not plan that. All right, it is sunny, warm. We are at a landmark. We are at the Green River crossing. We have traveled 1,000 miles and have 1,000 miles to go. Pace is steady. Rations are filling. Food left, 1,121. Well, we already saw that in status. And we're going to figure out how we want to proceed. Yep, you can go hunting with guns and get hit with a ricochet bullet. Really? Is that something that was done in... was that in Oregon Trail 2, or was that actually in the Deluxe? Oh, that's a good point. Actually, I have not shot a rock yet. And I'm not planning to shoot a rock anytime soon. So I'm going to have to try that out later. You must ferry across the river to continue. It is 20 feet deep and 400 feet wide. And let's take the ferry on that. Yeah, take the ferry. We already lost Skylar. We don't want any more unnecessary risk. All right. Success. You have made it safely across the river. And we were able to fix another wagon axle break. July 11th, no water. July 12th, no water. Mikey was bitten by a snake. Mikey, we need to talk. You saw Skylar get bit twice and die. You saw Ash get bit by a snake. And so you decide to walk up to that squiggly stick and grab it. There are no words. All right. I want to keep us above 2,000 pounds. Okay, I heard that one land, but we got a buffalo, so. I really appreciate that they give you the option to back out of hunting after you're done. That's really nice, because before you just had to sit there and wait for it. Oh, have to continue. Bad water. Mikey as well again. Stay that way. Let's see. So it would just eventually time out. Um, Speaking of timeout, Mikey. All right. Yeah, so basically you had a set amount of time in the original where you would hunt, and then eventually it would just stop. You couldn't end, as far as I know, you couldn't end hunting early. I could be wrong on that. Soda Springs. Okay. Oh, they add a little extra to it on the second round. My job every day is to find wood for the cook fire. Sometimes it's very hard to find enough, so I store extra pieces in a box under the wagon. On the prairie, I gathered buffalo chips to burn when there wasn't any wood. Well, do what you gotta do, kid. I've heard it said that there are many cutoffs to take to shorten the journey. That by taking all the shortcuts, you can save many days on the trail. And why not? Saving time and provisions is worth the risk. You have been wearing that same set of clothes this entire trip, dude. All right. Let's take a look at Mikey has cholera, so we'll do 2 more days. We're at a stopping point. Maybe somebody will share some meds. Mikey as well again. All right, so that paid off. Okay. Well, you know. Yep, we know, Mikey. We know. All right. You found some more wild fruit. You could die instantly. All right. Let's see what people have to say here. There's some mountain sheep up around here. Enough water, too, but hardly a stick of wood. Thank heaven for Fort Hall, but I'm really sorry to be saying goodbye to Cousin Miles and all the folks heading to California. So I guess this was a turning point for people that were going to California. Let's see. I will do one more. Fort Hall sure is a busy fort. The wide stretches of meadow grass here are just what our tired animals need. As for me, I'll fix up the wagon leaks. Amanda's real anxious to wash all the clothes and linens in one of those clear streams. All right, what's our status look like? Fair. You know what? We can pick up the pace. Let's go strenuous, and let's go. And so far, it hasn't made me regret it. Maybe we're outrunning all of those snakes that were following us. Heavy fog. Let's go hunt in the fog. Because why not? And I am not going to shoot a rock. I'm not going to shoot a rock. I'm not going to shoot a rock. Just keep telling myself that. Yeah, sliding running close to those rocks. I'm like, nope, just not gonna risk it. All right, how much was that? I was actually going to jokingly say like 900 pounds of meat. I was not actually expecting it to be that. All right, let's continue on. Oh, I thought I hit continue. Here we go. Oh, that's right, because we were delayed of the fog. I bet I must have like reversed it or something. Badwater, August 16th. It's like I'm picturing like writing the journal. August 18th, 1848. No water. August 20th, heavy fog. No grass for the oxen. You have reached Snake River Crossing. The songs are definitely different from one version of the game to the other as well. All right. Oh, so we've got some options here. 6 feet deep, so we definitely don't want to try to ford the river. Caulk the wagon and float it, or hire an Indian for 3 sets of clothing. We did. I feel like this one is sketchy. Well, the thing is, we did start off early on getting extra clothing, but let's go ahead and check with folks. It says right here in the Shively guidebook, you must hire an Indian to pilot you at the crossing of the Snake River, it being dangerous if not perfectly understood. But my husband insists on crossing without a guide. Well, I can't say anything. Down there between those steep lava gorges, twisting and writhing, is the Snake River. So much water, and so hard to get to. We've got so many miles of desert before Oregon, so be sure to fill your water kegs at the crossing. All right. I am definitely going to hire the Indian. So let's see if Empty. Let's see if you're right about this guy. If he's sketchy or if he's going to get us safely across. You made it safely across the river. All right. All right. August 23rd. No grass for the oxen. August 24th. No water. From that picture, that looks like a pretty rickety fort. I'm just looking at it. It's like the graphics make it look like individual little sticks or something. You have reached Fort Boise. Sorry, I have to remember not to hum because my beautiful voice. All right, let's see what people have to say. Every night, even though I ache from the day's toils, my head is filled with dreams of rich farmland, of the Willamette Valley, I will build myself a fine, handsome homestead, and I'm certain I'll be rich within 5 years. Let me know how that goes. The conditions have not been good on this journey. No water, no grass for the oxen. It's rough stuff. But we still have fair health. September 1st, no water. We're almost catching up to today. September 3rd, no grass for the oxen. What I need to do is print out this log and have somebody do a dramatic reading. September 4th, no water. September 5th, no water. I think that's possible. I'm also worried about the cold weather coming up too. Grand Ronde in the Blue Mountains. So what is the Grand Ronde? Since crossing the Snake at Fort Boise, it's just been mountains and desert, dust deeper each day. 6 inches at times, no tracks, just clouds of dust. Many cattle choked on the dust after swimming the river, then bled and died. Hmm. Does not sound fun. All right, what do we got? Let's continue here. I'm all for another shortcut. Yeah, I've been watching the calendar. I think you're going to be in the mountains during winter. Yeah, that isn't good at all. Oh boy. All those snakes. You decided to take the trail to the Dalles. I'm guessing that's how that's pronounced. I really do not know. Um, September 10th, you had a wagon tongue break, but you were able to fix it. Although we are getting a little window of green grass here, so this is nice. September 13th, you have reached the Dalles. All right. Yeah, this is the song I think it is. Okay. My cousin Lydia engaged passage down the Columbia with Indians. Canoe with 17 people and luggage. The wind blew so heavy they had to lay by. Near dark, high waves came up over their heads. Finally, they made it to shore safely. Well, that's good. Oh yeah, this is they did this in the original game too, where you could either take the toll road or you could raft down the river. Glad it could make the early sacrifice. Yeah, the snakes. Well, the snakes didn't stay back there with you, unfortunately. All right, raft down the river. Empty. Yeah, this is the ultimate test. So get information. The final leg of your journey is a trip down the Columbia River, beginning at the Dalles and ending at Willamette Valley, where the Willamette River flows into the Columbia. You've built a raft and loaded your wagon, supplies, and oxen aboard. You use the mouse to steer the raft down the river. You can steer to the left and right by moving the mouse in those directions. Moving the mouse up and down and clicking has no effect. I better not drown. The Columbia River is very rough in spots with lots of rocks. If there's been a lot of rain recently, the river level is higher and the rocks won't be as much of a problem. But if there hasn't been as much rain, which is common since eastern Oregon is a dry region, you'll see more rocks in the river. Try to avoid those rocks. If your raft hits a rock, it may be damaged and you may lose some supplies. Your raft may even tip over or be destroyed and lives may be lost. Good luck. I'm hearing like the Star Fox good luck in my head right now. Good luck, Fox. Begin rafting. Here we go. Oh, that's nice. They give you like really granular control over it. Going aside there. I guess I could have made it between those rocks. I'll have to keep that in mind. Wish they'd give you some kind of music. Should I risk it? No, I am not going to risk it. Yeah, we need some awesome music in the background of this. Or at least have some water flowing or something. Here we go. We're getting close to the end. I think we're good. Pulling up on shore. Sorry, Skylar, you're not in this picture. Congratulations, you have reached the Willamette Valley. Let's see, he can't hunt now because he committed to the river, but if this is the end, he makes it. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, I guess I do get points based off of the amount of food and things like that. So that would definitely affect the points at the end. Yeah, that's true, Empty. I was thinking that too. I don't know why that, but I definitely have that same feeling where it's like I've had to save the game and come back to it. So you're not alone in that perception. Wagon score. You arrived on September 13th, 1848, and received the following number of points. 4 people arriving in fair health, times 400. 1 wagon, 10 oxen, 6 spare wagon parts, 17 sets of clothing, 500 bullets. Yeah, and we definitely get, there's definitely some food points, but it's not that significant. And money points. And then we have the blacksmith multiplier of 2. Congratulations. You've made it onto the Oregon Trail list of legends with 3,580 points. Please enter your name. I'll go ahead and do the prez. And there's the list of legends. Wow. Crystal won. I think it cut off the first letter of your name for some reason. But I really didn't get that many more points than you on the trail, and you played as a doctor, which didn't even have a points multiplier. So I think that deserves some respect there, actually. Let's see. I also think there is a sound in the 1. Oh, okay, 1.2 version. I realized that was the one I played. Let me hit the, because I thought this was, let me hit options, because I believe in credits. This was version 3.0, but I'm very curious. Shoot, if you find like the copy of the game that you played, and maybe the Mac version, well, I don't know what version you played, so, but I'd be very interested in, oh, wait, I think I know what you're talking about, because there was a Windows 3.1 version, and it ran on Windows 3.1, but it was, it might have been like a version 1 point or something like that. The 1995 version. Okay, I'm tracking now. Let's see. Yeah, Crystal, you lost 2 people and you still had that high of a score. That's really good. And you did make it a lot faster. So, yeah, where did it was there last night? Okay, I'll have to look at that because there are several different versions available and on My Abandonware. All right, let me go back to the music here. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for sharing your memories and experiences with this game. And so next week I'll be back. Well, hopefully this weekend I'll have a chance to play a little bit more, finish up Super Gizmos and Gadgets, and otherwise I will hopefully see you all next time for another old school game. I am still very new to Twitch, but I understand that there are raids now, and I want to see if. So it looks like I'm only following a few people still, but do we want to try to do a raid? Why not? Let's do. I'm actually going to go ahead and raid you guys over to Secret Agent Jacob. He is playing Final Fantasy 12. And if I'm understanding raid etiquette, I guess we were supposed to have a raid message or something. So, something Oregon Trail. What do we? Basically. Gosh, I'm trying to think of something to rate him with. the wagon train raid. So I guess the raid message is wagon train. The wagon train has arrived. Let's do that. Wagon train has arrived. So just we'll do that. And I'm gonna watch his stream for a little bit too, because I love Final Fantasy 12. So let's do that. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining, and enjoy Secret Agent Jacob, and I'll see you next time for another old school game. Right.